Okay, welcome back to Migmatis Golf, everyone. I wasn't sure I was going to make this video because I wasn't really sure anybody would be interested in any of this stuff. But then I gave it a bit of thought, and actually golf is in my kind of situation, lowish type handicappers. I'm currently an 8.4, so single digit, but by no means a great golfer, and have plateaued there for years, always trying to get better and sadly struggling immensely. So I did my research. I really tried to find out why I'm not getting better, and I recently started taking lessons. Two different people, somebody in Hawaii and then somebody in the UK, who I rate highly, link in the description. And both of them have come to the conclusion that overall, most of the flaws in my swing are down to a lack of mobility, and specifically in my hips. Now, I think for people that spend a lot of time sitting in their jobs, this is quite common, especially for people my age. You get very sedentary in your lifestyle and you do a lot of sitting, and your hips become very inflexible. And not only inflexible, but you lose a lot of strength in your hips. Which brings me nicely on to this. I didn't realize that flexibility is key, yes, but also strength in parts of the body to perform a correct golf swing. Without the strength, you don't have control. The flexibility doesn't really mean anything, and your body will keep reverting to the easy patterns that it likes. So anyway, I finally decided, screw all this, I'm going to go do one of those TPI assessments, those movement screening assessments. Sadly, they're not very common, and in the United States at least, they're quite expensive. So being lucky as I am traveling around the world, I decided to find the cheapest place to fly to, South Africa, Johannesburg, and look up if there was anybody qualified there. And lo and behold, there is. There's a chap called Gavin down at the Johannesburg Country Club who is a uber nice chap. All the certifications, also certified as a PGA teaching pro. That gives him a bit of extra credibility for the golf, but he specializes in movement for the golf swing, which is great. So I booked my session with him. Very cheap, I must say. We only did the movement screening. So if you've ever looked at those TPI things, there's essentially three kind of parts to it. There is like the movement screening, like, you know, where you lack fitness or flexibility. There is the power screening, so how you compare to the pros in generating power in parts of your body. And then finally there is the kind of, what do you call it? The kind of sequencing of the golf swing, how you generate power from the ground, and they put you on those force plates and all that kind of good stuff. I guess you'd call that the kinematic sequence. There's another word for it. I'm nerdy about golf, but I'm not that nerdy. So all we did was the movement screening. And the reason that's all we did is Gavin told me it's pointless doing the power one if you can't actually get into these positions. We need to start somewhere. So I booked that. It was over 2 days or 2 mornings. It was extremely cheap. We're talking 2,400 Rand. It's £100, about 100 British pounds, 135 US dollars. And I was there in the morning for about an hour and a half. on one day, can't remember now, on the Wednesday, I think, I went there and chatted to Gavin a bit. He took my, all my details, background, what I suffer from and all of that. Then did the screening. Then over the next kind of 36 hours, he put our work plan together, sent it to me in a spreadsheet format with some links to YouTube videos for the particular exercises. And then I went back on the Friday and we just kind of went through all the exercises, make sure I understood how to do them all and all of that. So all in all, extremely good value, I would say. And the master plan is to do this workout routine for a minimum of 8 weeks. It's going to be a bit more for me because I'm not going to get back there in that time frame, but minimum of 8 weeks, do this and then retest after that. Now what they do is basically they use some baseline data against the pros, and they score you on all these different exercises. They come up with a movement screening handicap, a bit like your golf handicap. And ideally for amateurs, they want that, to be definitely kind of towards the mid-teens. Ideally, like a low handicap player, you're getting down towards single digit. And mine was 23. So there were some positives, some positives about, I keep myself fit, so I'm pretty strong. I got decent movement in some areas, but in a lot of areas, particularly my hips and my upper T-spine here and my shoulders, very, very bad scores. So that's what we're going to focus on. So I'm going to cut away very briefly to the actual spreadsheet with the different exercises. There's no point me telling you to go do these specific exercises because it's different for everybody, right? You might not have the same issues. What I will say though is you'll see that it's divided into like blocks of different workouts. There'll be like a daily routine and you'll get the most output from doing that religiously. So Gavin said the daily routine is a must. The more you do that, the more you get that down, the lower that handicap is going to be next time I see you. So I think there's a daily routine, and then there was like a stability work, and then a bit of resistance work, and some mobility work. So you will get out of it what you put in, so I've been told. And the nice thing about these exercises is you tell your TPI guy how you work out, what you have access to. I'm not a member of a gym, right? I just kind of have a pull-up bar at home in Hawaii with a TRX and some Olympic rings and a few little weights. And that's mostly where I'm going to be doing it. And then when I'm in the UK for like a couple days a month, where I stay, sometimes there is no gym nearby. So sometimes I just carry with me some bands, and that gets the job done. A lot of these workouts are without any aids. You don't need anything, you can get them done. So yeah, that's that. Now for me personally, in case you're interested, I needed one of these small stretchy bands to fit around your ankles to do some leg work, and then just one of these long stretchy medium strength bands for a bit of the other work. I also have an apparent grip strength deficiency, or let's say I could definitely improve my grip strength. That would allow my other parts of my body to feel like they don't have to work that hard. So I just picked myself up like a $12 grip strengthening device, and I'm going to annoy everybody at work by just constantly doing this for 10 hours straight. So that's what it is. So now let's cut away to my actual plan. You can go and type in the name of these exercises into YouTube, because the links obviously won't work, and it will show you what they are, and you can see it's pretty basic. And I'll see you after a few seconds of the cutaway. Okay, you're back. So that's it. That's pretty much the video. Nothing super exciting, but I've come to the conclusion that if you really want to get better and you have plateaued and you can't stop making those same swing mistakes that you make, maybe it is. Maybe it is just a pure limitation of your body. You know, under stress, when you're going to repeat a movement, you just can't. You know, your body just won't get into those positions. You're going to keep making those mistakes. So you have to get to the root of the problem, the absolute root. And I think I've found it. I think most of my problems are mobility in the hips, total lack of separation. Like, you know, that drill where you keep this still and you try and separate. I was useless at that. Hip strength was terrible. Internal, external rotation in both hips was way below the pro's average. And, you know, I'm not trying to be a pro, but I'm just trying to get somewhere there, or at least I have a fighting chance. So my recommendation is, if you're like me, you're of a certain age, you love golf, you're a decent golfer because you've learned to compensate and get it around, and some days you're good and some days you're rubbish, but you're just not improving. Maybe think about getting one of these TPI screenings and figure out exactly what is wrong with your body. Because let's face it, at this age, you're also going to be losing distance, losing strength, losing mobility every year. So getting you on a fitness program that actually benefits the sport that you love doing is probably the way to go in reality. And it doesn't have to cost you anything. Once you've paid that one amount, then a little bit of equipment and off you go. Right, that's it. If I think of anything else, I'll just tag it onto this, but thanks for watching the video. With regard to this movement screening, I've kind of had an epiphany when it comes to generating power. So as you know, I've not been a very long hitter. Pretty average to short, if I'm honest with myself. And I've always wondered why. I wondered why. It was, you know, I've always been athletic, played a lot of sports at a lot of reasonable levels, played soccer at a very high level. And yeah, I should be able to generate power. Why I can't generate power? And I think I know why. And I think, without being arrogant, having watched everything and read everything, there is a lot of nonsense out there. There's an absolute lot of crap out there. Anyway, so stay tuned. I'm going to make a video about what I think are the real secrets to improving really quickly with speed gains. All right, that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, subscribe to the channel, tell all your friends, all that good stuff. I'll see you again soon in another video. Bye.